Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours for the day of 959. And so there is quite a number of frontline changes, and a few of them is actually pretty shocking. So there's frontline changes over in the Kursk front with Obod, Lyubimovka, Kalinov. There's Sukhoriny over in the Pokrov front, Sukhoriny, Hernik, Zeleny Druhi, Krasnohorivka, Konstantinivka, and KAMYANSKE in the Zaporizhia front, which is the shocking one. Over in the Kursk front, over at the Kursk front at the Glushkovo sector, the Ukrainian forces continue their offensive. Actually, this is the wrong color. Should be this color. The Ukrainian forces have successfully expanded their zone of control. Finally, there's some advance in the Obod region and near the Vedze, which means that the Ukrainians actually did not withdraw from the Vedze. They still managed to hold the line, and this expands the control of the in the western part of Vasiloye. So Ukrainians continue to make advances, but strategically speaking, the Ukrainians are still stuck at the exact same place. They have not exactly advanced at all. It looks like it's advancing, but it's actually not advancing. It's still pretty much the same place. So this is a Bod region, and nearby on the western flank, there is frontline changes over at Lyubimovka. According to the Ukrainian mapping, Russian forces managed to expand their control around Lyubimovka, capturing part of this forest on the northwest of Lyubimovka, as well as taking part of the street over on the western part of Lyubimovka. So this is pretty significant. The battle at Lyubimovka has been ongoing for some time. This is a particularly difficult place to fight. The terrain is actually huge. Despite it looks like this, try to look at one house. Can you see the size of the house? You can't, because this is very zoom out. The house actually looks like this. You can see you can imagine the distance that is entailed in this area here. So there's still fighting over at Lyubimovka region, and the next frontline change is over at Kalinov, and this is interesting because this invalidates this geolocation of Russian forces invalidates Ukrainian claims that they have captured Kalinov. Russian forces actually are in this area. They are conducting some kind of assault into the eastern part of KAMYANSKE, which is currently disputed. We do not know who is actually holding KAMYANSKE right now because of the dispute between the two in the various mapping. So that is a pretty vital frontline changes update around here. So we will continue to monitor the situation around here, and after Kalinov, we finished the Kursk front frontline changes. We jump all the way to Pokrov front. At the Pokrov front, there is frontline changes over at Sukhoriny region. The battle of Sukhoriny continues. Russian forces, according to the Ukrainian mapping, have captured the entire eastern part of Sukhoriny. That means this is confirmed capture. However, if you look at the Russian mapping, it's a bit more. Actually, it's a lot more. Russian mapping claims that almost the entirety of Sukhoriny has been captured, and this extends all the way south to the north of Izmailivka. So Russian forces have captured the entrenchment, both entrenchment in the north of Izmailivka, as well as the entirety of the almost the entirety of the western part of Sukhoriny, which is all the residential area has been allegedly captured. So this is a massive amount of grounds if the Russian mapping is actually accurate, and which there's a very high chance that the Russian mapping in this area is actually accurate, because the Ukrainians are very slow in terms of the updates regarding this area here. So this is a massive update from this area here, as the Russians are on the verge of full capture of Sukhoriny. So after Sukhoriny, we have frontline change further south over in the Hernik region. As you can see, this area here, there's a lot of frontline changes. Sukhoriny region towards Izmailivka in the northeast of Hernik. Zeleny Druhi, and then of course over in the northern part of Krasnohorivka. This is like the general picture of all the frontline changes in this sector. So we zoom in closer so we can actually see a bit clearer. So over in the Hernik region, this Hernik, the Russian forces have, according to the Ukrainian mapping, taken all these forests along the Pikrova River, and so this updates the front line. This is a Ukrainian disclaim of uh, the ground that the Ukrainians are holding. So the Russians are moving closer and closer to Khernik, according to the Ukrainians. And over in the Zeleny Druhi region, this is based on Russian claims, largely based on the Russian Defense Ministry's report that they have captured Zeleny Druhi. So this mapping is, yeah, not objectively, confirmed yet. Even the Russian mapping also did mention that they do not have do not have objective confirmation of how of the capture yet at this moment. So this is the current situation. This is just a claim. And in the northwest, actually northwest of Krasnohorivka, I did say Krasnohorivka, right? Or did I say Konstantinivka? I can't remember. Anyway, it's Krasnohorivka, so you can see Krasnohorivka. And Russian forces continue to advance and capture more grounds along the Nevelsky salient. And this time round, the entire northwestern part of this industrial area or farming facilities is now fully captured by by the Russian forces. So yeah, the Russians continue to advance. This mapping is by the Ukrainian side, so this is definitely confirmed capture by the Russian forces. And by the look of it, most likely the gray zone is much bigger, and the Ukrainians are slowly withdrawing from this area here. So the fall of the Nevelsky salient is way slower than I expected. So the Ukrainians are putting up a lot more resistance than I expected them would do. So kudos to them, but poor souls that died in these battles. And so these are the frontline change around here. And the next frontline change, we jump all the way to Konstantinivka. So over in the region of Konstantinivka and near Antonivka, Russian forces has been geolocated in 2 new locations, and this time now expanding the Russian control around Konstantinivka, as the Russian forces starting to attack towards Antonivka and expanding the buffer zone around the north of Konstantinivka. So Russians are on the verge of starting the battle of Antonivka. So we shall continue to monitor this situation. Very, very concerning for the Ukrainian side, and the situation continued to deteriorate for them. And there's one last frontline change, and this is also another very major one, is over at the Zaporizhia front. So this is Zaporizhia, and this is the Zaporizhia front, and this is the KAMYANSKE sector. KAMYANSKE itself finally saw some major battle in the northern half of the settlement. Russian forces allegedly geolocated in the village in the north across the causeway, and this leads to Russian advance, which is pretty surprising. I look at the footage, I can't really tell is this area here. So there's some magical geolocation work is being done. I would say take this with a pinch of salt, because I really cannot tell based on the geolocation. I wouldn't have been able to do this geolocation if I do it myself. So I would say this advance is a bit surprising. I would say take it with a pinch of salt. But if true, then the Russians have launched some kind of offensive in the KAMYANSKE region, which is very, very significant, because a Russian advance into this area here, wrong color, into this area here would totally change the strategic situation around here, and it would destabilize the area here. So a Russian capture here would make everything change. So, and because you will start to expect the Russians to start to move in this area here, and changing the nature of the area here. But I can't confirm. This geolocation is very suspicious. I would say that, take it with a pinch of salt. The settlement definitely looks like the KAMYANSKE's layout, the kind of a very sparse suburb kind of place. But no, I can't really tell the exact location to be correct or not. So anyway, that's it. So this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.